Sydney, at what point does inclusiveness pass too far? You got a fat man that's naked in a gimp costume with a cute teddy bear hat right in Wynyard. Now tell me this, maybe you can say I'm exaggerating, maybe you can say I'm too much, but
hello there, you wonderful people. Welcome back. I'm the presenter clone. I spoke to the editor clone last week. He told me there was a little bit of a problem with the sound. I think I've fixed it, hence the headset. The mic's a bit closer. It should sound crisp. But let's get straight in, shall we? Ever? Whoa. As if you just jumped in the car.
This wild nigga. Look at this wild shit.
Whoa.
He robbed his bag. Wow. He robbed his bag and took off. He robbed that dude, took the bag and ran off. Yo, that was...
It's tired.
See, you can't be, it's not safe even for the rich anymore. This is when stuff will start changing, when rich people start getting messed up by it. Maybe we'll start seeing the impact now.
We're tired of fighting with it.
Never.
Clients are nervous coming down here to drop off. My employees don't want to be here early in the morning after dark or weekends when we're here alone. Every Monday morning when we come in, there's graffiti and needles and the mark of our lovely burning mattress that we had last Monday. I think a lot of businesses are going to leave before it gets better.
bro, we're in...
Yeah, it's terrible. It is really terrible because, like, they will sell their grandmother. I've said this before. They would happily sell their grandmother for the next fix. And it's not them that's doing it. It's like their soul has been corrupted by addiction. The drug has consumed their soul. It's taken over them. There's like a tiny remnant of who they once were left inside. And if they would do that to their own grandmother, nobody is safe. So it's a very complicated issue. But they're still humans at the end of the day. We need to try and do something.
Sydney, at what point does inclusiveness pass too far? You got a fat man that's naked in a gimp costume with a cute teddy bear hat right in Wynyard. Now tell me this, maybe you can say I'm exaggerating, maybe you can say I'm too much, but at what point is it too far when you're walking down the street with your kid and the kid looks at a cute teddy bear hat and relates it to a man in a gimp suit? At what point does it get too dangerous? You tell me.
I think, my friend, I think it's I don't think it's the gimp costume. I think it's the teddy bear hat on the man, lack of clothing in the position. That was the moment. In my mind, the gimp suit was extra. The glass of wine was extra. Him laid like bloody Kate Winslet in Titanic, draw me like one of your French girls. Him laid in that provocative position is where the limit is. Alcohol, sexual pose, teddy bear costume, semi-naked man. That's the line there. The gimp suit, the teddy bear hat is just sprinkles. That's just sprinkles on the cake, mate.
If we keep letting them push the boundary, they keep getting worse and worse. I think this is disgusting. I think this is like Balenciaga vibes. What do you reckon?
Yeah. To condone an insult demands another. It's true. If you let them do it once, you're asking them to do it again, nay, begging them. So just don't let them do it. You need to have boundaries. Boundaries are healthy for people. Trust me. If you're a young lad watching this, you need boundaries in your life. Don't eat cake. Don't fuck bitches. Lift weights and work. You need boundaries. They're good for you. I wouldn't have got my degree without boundaries. Think about it.
So today was our first day back from spring break, and I told all my students that my pronouns are they, them, and that my honorific is mix. A few of my students had some questions, and we were able to talk about those, but I wanted to tell you about two of my students that just made my heart sing and made me feel so validated. One of them, she put in the chat, I'm so proud of you. And then one of my other students, maybe like half an hour after we had talked about that, had a question and put in the chat, mix, da 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 da, here's my question. And it was just so validating to see Mix pop up on the screen instead of Miss, and it made my day.
So you said validation twice in a 60-second video, so I assume it made you feel validated. So you feel validated by exposing children to things that make no sense, and then you're glad that they are confused. That's effectively what you've just said. You are now multiple people. You are plural people, and that child doesn't understand the language correctly, and you are like validated that you've confused them. You're not doing this for the child's benefit. You're not doing this for society's benefit. You're doing this for your own benefit. It's to benefit you, for your validation, your vindication. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with helping the child travel through a diverse world. Nothing to do with that at all. The skin that you're using to cover this charade is getting very, very thin indeed.
Your secret is safe with me. You're old enough to make your own choices. Your parents don't know what's best for you. Hi, I'm Chaya Raichik, perhaps more well known as the founder of Libs of TikTok.
This woman needs a fucking medal. She does. She does. The hate and the vitriol that she's taken just for reposting. Just for reposting it. I'm so glad she feels strong enough to show face and stand up against them, because she gets a lot worse than I get. I've only got 110 subscribers. I don't have any hate viewers yet. I'll get the hate watchers eventually though.
I've spent the last 2 years devoting my life to exposing the indoctrination and grooming of our children. Do they know why it is important to never keep secrets like this from you? I wrote a book that will help you instill this foundational principle within your home. No More Secrets is a fun story that you can use to teach your children to always trust mom and dad. My book teaches that it is not okay for any other authority figure to tell children that they should keep a secret from their parents. You need this book today. Order one for you and one for the library at the school nearest you. Do not wait. Those after the hearts and minds of your children won't. Limited number of signed copies available at lottbook.com.
I applaud that woman. I really do applaud that woman and all the work she does. She's one of the reasons that, like, she literally is the only reason this series exists, but she is the reason that I started to post in the first place, because if she's going to start posting about it and she's just going to show you what they do, I thought I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to show you what they do and explain why it's wrong. So that if I can catch somebody before they fall into this and I can save you from falling, I will. But the message behind that book is beautiful. You should not have secrets. If you are a child and your parent doesn't want you to do something, your parent doesn't need to explain to you why you shouldn't do that thing. For example, if your parent tells you not to get in a van with a man who's got sweets, you don't need to know why not to get in that van. You need to have unwavering trust and belief in your parents, right? So, no more secrets. That's true. If anybody ever tells you, don't tell your mum and dad, unless it's your grandma handing you candy, it's probably not a good thing.
If I work somewhere and I express to a number of people what my pronouns are, and I'm working there for like 6 months, I shouldn't have to explicitly tell every single person what my pronouns are, especially when there are other trans people who use the same pronouns in this workplace. I just want to pick up my tips from my old job that I just stopped working at, and this person who I almost never worked with before misgendered me. And I worked there for like 6 months or more, and my pronouns were always they, them, or he, him. And neither one of those was used. If you're talking about me to somebody you know who I am, every other person uses the correct fucking pronouns. Like, why are you not?
Because we live in the real world, and the majority of your social interactions possibly take place on TikTok or Twitter. And that is not the real world. There are people out there who don't even use it, that never even heard of all this bollocks that's come out about transitioning your gender and all this stuff. The average man, the common man, is only hearing about this now because of the media. That's it. So people are screeching on social media, making massive media corporations kowtow, and now the normal man is hearing about it 6 years later. So, like, it's just ridiculous that you think your worldview is the only worldview that exists. Like, do you not understand there's people that live in Siberia that are struggling to survive winters? There's people in Africa struggling to get water. There's people that could not care less about likes on social media posts. There's people out there that, given the opportunity now, with all your problems, they would swap lives with you in a heartbeat. And they would rather worry about rent and worry about gas prices than worry about getting eaten or their family dying of disease. Like, they would swap in a heartbeat, man. Honestly. And to be so self-absorbed to believe that you're the only person that truly matters, it's just, I genuinely think it's first player character syndrome. Like, you're the player and everybody else is an NPC. This is your world. It's a shame. It really is, because I don't know how your family is supposed to help you when you think like that. I really don't.
So the difference between gender-neutral parenting and genderless parenting is that one is
I've seen this before.
completely neutral and the other is not. From my understanding, gender-neutral parenting is just using they/them pronouns, using neutral clothing and neutral toys, and for genderless parenting, it's quite the opposite. For my youngest, we use all pronouns, including neopronouns, because we want them to feel each pronoun and see what makes them most comfortable. With my oldest, we've done this, and she goes by she, her, he, him pronouns, and has expressed that they are both a boy and a girl. Gender-neutral parenting is basically making a non-binary baby, and that's not the goal with the genderless parenting. In essence, gender-neutral parenting is giving them neutral everything. Gender-creative parenting or genderless parenting is allowing them to experience both masculine and feminine things.
Hey Wesley,
Yeah,
are you a boy or a girl?
a boy and a girl.
What are your pronouns?
Him and she.
How do you know?
That's how I feel.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
I'm sure I said it in the first time I saw that woman. The first time I saw her, she looks incredibly high. Like, she's very, very slow with her speech, and her eyes are like really heavy, and she's not cognizant, and she's talking like this. Like, I don't, like, you've just uttered utter garbage. Like, genderless and gender non-conforming, like, the gender is based on biology. Like, you've taken like personality traits and sexual proclivity and mashed them together into this new construct of gender. So, like, this is why I was saying to you that all the gay people are going to disappear, because now being a butch lesbian isn't just an amalgamation of 50 million different traits that you've got. Well, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. I'm being hyperbolic. Obviously, you've got like 15 or 16 different dominant traits that make you who you are. And then you've got a few that are like mixed in, and you get them from around you. So if you're a lesbian, that's your sexual proclivity. But then you've got the way that you like to live your life and the way that you identify and stuff. These are all personality traits. It's not your gender. This is why I've got a subscriber who is, I can't remember what the word is, but he collects knives. I see you, Paul. And he's a knife gender because he likes to, that's part of his personality. It's just what he does. Joe Rogan isn't hunter gender or cage fighter gender. It's just getting ridiculous now. So what you've just uttered to me there was waffle, just complete and utter waffle, verbal diarrhea, verb salad.
Hey, white ladies.
Some casual racism. It wouldn't quite be the same, would it?
Denying racism in your own self is violence. You hurt the entire cause by denying that you ever had a racist thought. I don't think that way. I wasn't raised that way. That's not how I feel. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't have to wear a hood and you don't have to tote around a fucking Confederate flag to know that there is shit inside of your brain that you need to fix, or else you're still just perpetuating the problems of society. But I get called a white savior because I can admit the shit that I do. Meanwhile, there's women running around thinking that they've never, ever done anything in their life that could possibly even teeter on the edge of racism. Good luck with that delusion. I hope someday you realize that that's not the case, and you can put aside your white fragility and your angelic behavior and realize that you still have work to do. And until the day you die, you're going to have work to do. And unpacking your own bullshit, not just stitching other people, not just duetting with other creators and calling them out. It's in here too. It's in here too, girls. So put away your halo. Start playing catch with your demons. It's the only way we're going to dispel them, okay?
Do you know when you're arguing with somebody and they argue back using the same argument? Like, I know you are, you said you are, but what am I? Whatever you say this bounces off me and sticks to you. Do you know, like when you argue with people like that? Like, so they say something that isn't true, and then we call them delusional. So now they're just using that back at us as if it's a valid argument. So you're delusional to think these things, like about all the, like, so if I think a certain way, that makes me a racist, right? And if I think another way, that makes me a woman. So if I think this way, I need to change. If I don't think that way, don't need to change. It's all just, I genuinely cannot make sense of what these people are trying to say. I genuinely cannot make sense of it. I don't understand how any of this makes any sense. I really don't. I'm just a humble British man observing from afar, thinking, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Like,
Transgendered women are biologically women, though, in their brain. It's just the body didn't match up, okay? And there's scientific proof of this. I have a clip following, so you can watch it. And this is why we need the distinction between cisgendered and transgendered, because biologically, we're the same. But the rest of it, God, imagine how shitty it would be to know that you're, you know, a woman here, but then you gotta walk around with a wiener and no boobs. I like my boobs. I'm fond of my boobs. I've named my boobs Betsy and Bertha. All right, watch the clip.
Down below, we have the staining pattern of a gay man. The picture above is the staining pattern of a straight man, and observe there is no difference between the gay man and the straight man. However, over here in this corner we have the staining pattern for a transgender woman. She has the same staining pattern as the non-transgender, as the cisgender woman. There are areas in the brain that correlate with gender identity and not with external body parts.
See, this is why we need the distinction between cisgendered and transgendered, because biologically in the brain, physically in the brain, they are female, but then their body does not match, which, my goodness. And also, like I said, you know, how horrible it would be to walk around with a penis, but then there's individuals, that's their thing. They like the wiener. They keep it. Man, if you could trade, I would never.
your argument basically hinges on the fact that your brain is what makes you. So your brain, because your brain is female but your body is male, we should fix your body instead of fixing your brain, is your argument. Well, why can't I argue that if you've got a female brain and a male body, why don't we fix your brain? Like, we can make the same argument here. We've covered no new ground here. This is madness. This is madness.
Trade. I would never trade my pussy. I like her. We're good friends. I also want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with a transgendered woman having a wiener if she wants a wiener. My God, that would be like a superpower, man. You could have titties and a dick. You could literally be unstoppable. This is why all the cisgendered women are scared. It's because you're superheroes. And before you think it's wrong for someone to have boobies and a wiener, intersex people exist. There's as many intersex individuals born as redheads. You might even know one. Dun dun dun. If you haven't been here long, I'm weird. But I love the trans community. I do. I love y'all. I love the queer community. I love you all.
You love a group regardless of what they do. Sounds good. I don't get it.
That's problematic!
Indeed it is, Rob. Indeed it is. This stuff is slowly melting my brain. Week by week I can feel my IQ points sliding. Thanks for watching. Peace.